Happy Flashpoint Friday. Welcome, everyone. My name's Austin. I am excited to bring this show to you every week. And if you'll listen, I have some music playing because if you can't have fun, then why do it? This song that you hear in the background may sound familiar, and there's a reason why I'm sharing it with you today. It's called Wild Thing. And in 1966, the Troggs song Wild Thing went to #1. I thought, I gotta open with this song. So hopefully this is jazzing up your spirits today on this Friday. Let's get into it. I have a ton of great shares for you today. I'm going to be sharing some highlights from the past year of the great things that happened with Flashpoint from some of our tribe who have shared such incredible information, their hearts, their stories, their inspiration. I know it's going to stoke you, provoke you, evoke you to make a change as early as right now. Are you ready? Tell me you're into this. Let me know you're here. Let me know that you're alive. Let me know that you are looking for some inspiration, or maybe you want to type in some inspiration. Maybe you want to share something. So I'm going to jump into our show just as we normally do. We start off with the hourglass. Take a breath. Step into this moment with me, would you? Because you clicked on this, you invested your time. Step into the present moment. This is a reminder that we can't go back and change the past, and we can't even hyper-focus on it because it messes up the present. We can't go into the future because we don't know what's going to happen, but what we can do, we can step into this moment fully and be in the moment and live more in the moment. So that's what we feature. The hourglass, that's the Flashpoint hourglass. We added the Thomas Edison light here. I bought this up at Menlo Park where the light bulb, this rendition of the light bulb was finally discovered, invented. We'll say invented. It's a better term. And was in practice for 100 years based on Thomas Edison's work. 10,000 ways to successfully create a way that the light bulb could not be invented. I said that the long way, but stay with me. You know what I mean? 10,000 times. Boom, there's another way it won't work. Let's keep going. Boom, there's another way it won't work. Let's keep going. Boom, there's another way it won't work. Let's keep going. Maybe you need to say that today. Boom, there's another way it won't work. Let's keep going. Boom, there's another way it won't work. Let's keep going. Boom, there's another way it won't work. Let's keep going. If you're with me, type in boom. Say boom, there's another way. I'll keep going. And then lastly, we have the cowbell, because you can never have too much cowbell, and the cowbell is to highlight great moments throughout the show, your shares, insights, whatever comes up, we are prepared. You just simply type in the word cowbell and boom, out comes the cowbell. I'm excited to add something new this week. For you, I'm going to add a quote of the week. So for next week, if you got a great quote, I want you to share it with me. I will share the quote. I will spotlight you as the source for sharing it with me. But this week, I have a great quote. I shared it on one of the other previous segments, and it's going to hit home. And I want you to draw some light and consciousness around this today and practice it today. Here you go. Absolutely love that quote. Let me know if you're feeling that one. Don't speak negatively about yourself, even as a joke. Your body doesn't know the difference. Words are energy and cast spells. That's why it's called spelling. That was said by Bruce Lee. My friend, avoid speaking negatively about yourself. I said before, you are all you have. Pour into yourself what you need so you can pour out more of what the world needs. All right, let's jump in. I'm excited. Let's jump into these incredible shares. Here we go. I got some highlights for you. I'm going to start off with Dr. Grant. I shared this before, but I want to share it again because I'm passionate about health and wellness. Most of you know I don't really lead with that, but it's so important. And we just finished our last wellness call yesterday. We had some incredible people on. We had a cardiologist who is very into wellness and investigating holistic healing and bringing it more to the world, even though he's a traditional doctor in the sense as a cardiologist. It was amazing. Dr. Anand was on. We had a great panel of people. And I just want to share this because if we don't have our health, what do we have? Here you go.
Stress causes over 80% of all diseases, but there's something called distress, when the stress is so high, overwhelming, and there's something called eustress, which is the good stress that we need to cope with life, to help us to thrive, not to become victims, but to become victors. Start your day with attitude of gratitude. You need to live, you need to learn, you need to love, you need to laugh, because laughter is the best medicine. And then you need to leave a legacy, because without leaving a legacy, your life would have been wasted. Every one of us.
Dr. Grant's been practicing for 35 years. He's dedicated his life to health and wellness. I was fortunate enough to go through 4 months. We co-hosted a wellness call. It ended last night for the summer. We're going to relaunch it again in October, so stay tuned for that. That was a complimentary thing that we did because we know the world needs better information about how to get well, right? How to feel healthy, alive, vitality. We need that. I'm not going to go into the whole details there. I just want to share that highlight from Dr. Grant. We co-wrote the book together. Flashpoint, Your Turnaround Story Starts Here. I'm going to grab that and share that with you, and I'll talk more about that next. Let's talk about our own Maria Love. Maria, I think you're on here. I want to say hello. I want to give you a shout out. And let's hear this great clip from Maria from our summit. Here we go.
So as Dr. Stacy said, know that you are not the only one. You are not alone. So whatever it is that you are experiencing, whatever it is that you're going through, reach out. Even if you don't know what to say, just turn to someone you trust. So always just ask for help. The world is full of helpers. If you're asking someone for help, you're giving them a gift. That gift of feeling good and being able to help you.
Maria runs an empowerment program for youth. It's called The Bridge. She's an amazing person, awesome Zoom facilitator. And I love how she said that when you reach out for help, you're giving that person a gift by confiding in them. That is so true. Reach out, just like the song says, reach out. Sometimes we need to reach out more because we can go into our cocoons and we think that that's what we need, but sometimes we just need to reach out. So great insights. That was from our co-author summit. I got the book. So both Dr. Grant and Maria were highlighted authors in Flashpoint, Your Turnaround Story Starts Here, Amazon bestseller. I'm going to drop the link in there, and I'm going to talk about our next project before the end of this show. Here we go. We're rolling on. I want to grab your shares. Make sure you come in and say hello. Maria's on here. Thank you, Maria. I'm glad you're here. And look at you. You're sharing Dr. Grant's quote. While we're highlighting you, you're sharing Dr. Grant's quote. I'm so glad to have you here. Let's talk about the next highlight. The next highlight is our very own Dr. Stacy Lloyd. Dr. Stacy Lloyd has been with the state police for many years, and she is creating a program about emotional intelligence. Not your IQ, your EQ, your emotional intelligence quotient, and how important it is, not only in the law enforcement, but for all of us. Let me grab this share from Dr. Stacy. She's amazing.
Just understanding the power of your thoughts. If you change your thoughts, you can absolutely change your life. And I'm hoping just internationally, people understand that they were born with purpose. When you understand what that purpose is, just think intentionally, be focused, be deliberate, and just be disciplined, and you can achieve anything that you can achieve. I don't care where you are and where you are or how old you are. You are not who you think you are, but you are what you think. So just discover your gold mind. And that's a plug-in, and that's it.
That's
Absolutely love that. That's Dr. Stacy's brand, Discover Your Gold Mine. And she talked about it in there. Starts with your thoughts, but then she said the D word, the discipline. And you take those and you start to think positively and you elevate your energy, and you can achieve just about anything you put your gold mine to. That was a part of our summit. We grabbed that clip, excited to share that, these amazing people, and excited to watch what Dr. Stacy's going to do in this world, because she is just getting started with her work in emotional intelligence, connecting with law enforcement all over the United States and showing them there's a better way. And that's so important for that we continue to grow, we continue to learn, that we never stop. It never stops, does it? It never stops. Let me just share this. This is Maria's share. By reaching out, you give people the gift of being able to support you. Type in the word cowbell. I got plenty of cowbell left, by the way. If you're wondering, does Austin have enough cowbell? The answer is yes, there's plenty of cowbell. We want to use the cowbell to highlight these great shares. Go boldly in the direction of your dreams. Absolutely. And you will be met with unexpected success in common hours. Boom! That's exactly how it works. Can you dig it? Are you with me? Let's get into some more shares here. We have up next, we have a gentleman that has become known as the Amish Outlaw. Yes, the Amish Outlaw. Can you believe this? I'm going to share with you. And by the way, his name is Moses. And when Moses speaks, people listen. Here we go.
Start out on the journey, like start going, but even in the middle of things, when all things are going to hell and everything's breaking down, don't be afraid to stop and ask questions from the proper people. Maybe you have to trade in your old gear for the new. You really don't know how resilient you are until you decide that this is the last time, right? This is the last time you're going to quit. And amazing what comes along when the right people start to show up. And you really are more resilient than you know.
You are more resilient than you know. Do you hear me? You are more resilient than you know. Sometimes we can't know how resilient we are until we are put to the test. And you may be saying, I don't want the test. I don't want it. I just want life to be smooth sailing. Embrace the test. I saw a shirt the other day. I got out running this week. I'm back running and biking, and I'll get into that. But the shirt said, embrace the suck. It said, embrace the suck. And I was like, okay, embrace the suck. But what it means is that when the stuff hits the fan and you're being tested, see if you can somehow embrace it. And I can only share what I do. When I'm out working out, I'm running, and you start to feel it. I just allow it. I don't fight it. I'm like, all right, this is it. Like, I'm growing. And that flip in my mind enables me to be present. Because I'll tell you, I'm just like you. My brain races ahead sometimes. And I get ahead of myself. And I mess up every time. Like, I mess up. I'm like, step back. Breathe. And every time I do that, I reclaim my power back. I get back into the right pace. And it's almost as if, like magic, the right things start to show up, and they will for you too. Great share from Moses. And I want to get into the next part. Why Flashpoint? This was something that came up during the summit. I want to share it with you right now.
Austin, why Flashpoint? Why did you start this whole entire thing?
I started this because there was a moment when I said my life was over, and I really believed it to be true. And I'm not going to get into all the story here because this is about the authors, but that seed, that pain, me feeling like my life was over and believing it, not knowing that there was a flashpoint moment, not knowing that I could ever turn things around, not knowing that I could be here hosting an event like this with these people. That was not even a possibility for me at that time. So there's been many flashpoints for me, but the flashpoint for this was that realization that there is a moment when it makes sense. There's a moment when you're in your passion, your purpose, your mission, and there are moments. It's not always there, but there's moments. And I wanted to bring this message of flashpoint to the world, to give the world hope, to say there is a flashpoint moment in my future.
Well, his story is very powerful, and I've been through so much that I was able to really, his story resonated with me, and Flashpoint was just one of those things that seemed obvious, at the time. So,
now, why Flashpoint? Because I love clarity in life. And Flashpoint and the motivation behind Flashpoint makes me feel compelled to gain clarity, act upon it, and move forward. So yes to Flashpoint, yes to Austin J. Hayes.
I'll follow Austin anywhere, anytime. He has done so much to help me shift out of my story and into a life of my dreams. So I do a lot I follow to just support him. I didn't know how inspired I could be until I was at this event.
Guys, I'd be remiss if I don't start with this. Austin, thank you so much for having this segment.
A shout out to all those amazing authors and people that participated in that live summit. We had Julie on there, Julie Gandy, Peace and Love Amplifiers. We had Mandy, she wrote a poem for Flashpoint. We shared that before. We had Karen Drosnes on there, an amazing person. Gosh, I won't tell the whole story, but she is just talk about resilience. She embodies resilience and so much more. And then we had Ivy Perez on there as well, sharing about it. She attended the summit that we did, but that summit was for the authors that were in this book that went Amazon bestseller, and we're excited. We're going to be doing another book here shortly called The Health Turnaround, and that project has me excited because when I look at the numbers in North America, over 70% of people are overweight or obese. And according to our call last night, we had a cardiologist on the call, and all he talked about was the correlation between body mass index and health problems. So we know if we can start to bring that weight down in a healthy, sustainable way, we can create health turnarounds. But that's not the only thing. There's a lot of stories that are going to be in this next book that's going to embody the health turnaround story. We are focusing on that for the next book. We are looking for authors that fit the criteria to be in this next book. And I think this next book is going to do even better. If you are looking to expand your reach as a wellness expert, a health practitioner, this book is for you. But we have an application process, so you can reach out to me. I'm not going to drop any links because we're limiting that and we're looking for the right people. I would just ask you to connect with me somehow. You can find me at austins360.com, austins360.com. And let's see what else I have up my sleeve here for you today that I can share with you, because I want you to leave different than when you came in here. I want you to walk away with something that's going to move you forward, because a lot of times we don't feel alive. We're just going from one day to the next. We're trying these different programs. We're trying these different things, and we're never fully feeling that juice of life to create that flashpoint moment. And that's why I'm so passionate about creating this. And like Maria is saying here, Maria was one of the authors in the book, our why whys are so important. What's the why behind Flashpoint? I just shared that with you. And I want to share this other thing again, because I got a little bit of an announcement. I'm gonna drip a big announcement out here. I'm gonna drip it out. So if you want to stay with me, I'm gonna share this. I shared this a couple times, but I'm gonna share it again. Last year, I did an inspirational road trip. I was on that road for 34 days, 34 days straight. I left my home. I was gone for 34 days. I went all the way out to the Grand Canyon, and I captured inspirational places, faces, and traces, because I know that it's experience that moves us. Like this knowledge and this information, you might get something out of this. I really want you to, like I said, but what really moves people, what I found, is when I can deliver an experience. So that's what I did last year. I captured a highlight thing from it. I'm going to share it with you, and I'm going to talk about a couple announcements before we close out the show. And by the way, if you have a question, you have a share, if you want to hear some more cowbell, type it in the comments, because we do have about 9 minutes left, and I want to fill it up with value. And sometimes the best value comes from something that you share. But for now, let's take a look at this inspirational road trip. And I got a big announcement after this. I know that looks great. I want to tell you, I took the long road. And as I watch that, I'm humbled. I'm just moved by it. But it's important to note that I took the long road. You know, I'm here, I'm in my midlife, and I'm following a passion to teach, to inspire, to create experiences, to create transformational experiences that move you to your flashpoint. But it was the long road. I'm not a prodigy. I didn't start this at 18, 20 years old because I didn't have the belief. It took me a long time to get to this point, to be able to be in front of you, to share something like this. But I'm moved by it, and it inspires me even more. And I'm happy to tell you that this show that you might be watching on some little box in your hand or on your PC, or maybe you're at work and you're listening to it, we're getting close to 9,000 views. That tells me that people want this information. So if this is moving you, exciting you, provoking you, stoking you, share it with one person. Help me get the message out there that there is a flashpoint in your future, regardless of how many times you have failed. Thomas Edison, 10,000 times. But then the light bulb was created and history was changed forever. And just like that light bulb, and just like Thomas Edison and his team trying 10,000 times, you have something that has yet to be discovered, invented, and maybe you forgot about it. And maybe it's been tugging. And maybe you've stuffed it aside in the name of, I have to do something else. I have to make money. I have to make my family happy. I have to keep my parents happy. I just got off of a call yesterday of a young lady who was in the midst of a dilemma. She needed to make a decision. And it was, do I stay in this master's program and keep my family happy, or do I, and it's in a field that I don't even want to do, or do I go in the direction of my highest aspiration? Or not directly highest aspiration, but start to move in a different direction that's more calling to her soul. And she was riddled with this dilemma because the program, the money was invested. And she was like, do I stay this, invest another 10,000 to get this master's degree that my parents want for me? Or do I make a decision that's more in alignment with who I am? So I don't know what decision, I think I know what decision she's going to make, but how many of us subdue our own needs to meet someone else's expectation of us when it's not in our best interest, or it's not in alignment with what we really want to be, do, have, give, feel, and or experience? What I want to close with is this. We are doing our next book. And if it resonates with you, all the people you saw on here, all the highlights that you saw, how we showcase these people, we promote them, we showcase their stories to reach the world. You know, my name's Austin Haynes. I create transformational experiences that lead you to your flashpoint. How do I do that? We do it through live events, experiential video content. We do it through books, all media, all means necessary to help you create your flashpoint moment. There is a flashpoint moment in your future, from my heart to yours. This is a wake-up call. I can't put smelling salts in front of your dream. You know, I can't take smelling salts and put them in front of the nose of your dream. I can't do that. But I'm here for a reason. If you're getting this, it's for a reason. It's for a purpose. There was something in the course of this video that moved you and touched you. Don't take it for granted. Look beyond the messenger. I'm just the messenger. Get over my big forehead, my big nose. I started out singing. I may not look the part, but I assure you there's a reason for it. And there is a flashpoint moment in your future. So next week, I'm going to be looking for quotes from you so we can share your quote of the week. My name's Austin. This is Flashpoint. Your turnaround story starts here. Have a great week, everyone.